What's going on, everybody? It's time to do a new haul video. As you can see, I am wearing glasses, and it is not by my choice. I'm out of contact for a while. The brand that I usually get is going out of stock, out of business or something, and I'm not gonna have contacts for like 2 months. I gotta wait 2 months to get new contacts. So, for the next however many videos, I'm gonna be wearing glasses. I just hope the glare from my lights doesn't ruin, your ability to see me, and I hope it's not like super distracting. But we're not here for me. What we're here for today is to talk about some manga, and I picked up a whole bunch of stuff between March and April. I want to talk about every single volume in this haul with you all, and I hope that you enjoy this video. I'm not going to talk a whole lot, to just get right to it, because this is probably going to be a long video otherwise. I want to kick this thing off with this Tokyo Ghoul reset right here. I did a video about this set, and this is a really nice set. I think it's like 16 volumes or something like that. 16 volumes. Really nice set. I did an unboxing of this. If you want to see what's actually in the set, if you were thinking about picking up the set but you want to see the individual volumes of it, there's a video on my channel. Actually, I also have a video unboxing the original set. So I have both of them, and yeah, I've actually got the first volume of just basic Tokyo Ghoul on the shelf, so I'm going to be reading that pretty soon. And I might do videos about it, so yeah, stick around. So I recently did a video about this, about the first part of this series, and I've picked up parts 1 and 2, and I just got my hands on part 3. So this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the complete part 3. I'm not sure when I'm going to be starting this. I just did the video on 1. I haven't even started part 2 yet, but I do want to, so that I can knock videos out about it. I'm probably going to do two separate videos for part 2. The first 2 volumes of part 2, and then 3 and 4 will be a separate video for part 2. And then this is the rest of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure part 3 collection. I don't know if or when I will pick up part 4, but I may eventually get around to it. I mean, the fact is, since I haven't even started part 2, and I didn't realize part 3 was going to be 10 volumes deep. I didn't realize part 3 was going to be as long as it is. I think I'm going to chill for now on buying any more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But these are really beautiful volumes, these hardcovers, and they're all hardcovers. And I love the artwork. Araki has just an incredible imagination, and, I was one of those people that I was never going to read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure until I read part 1, and I was blown away by it. So I'm excited to start part 2, and then eventually, start part 3. All right, let us rapid fire some stuff. We've got Soul Eater Volume 1. These are the hardcovers. I was going to pick these up a while ago, and I never got around to it for whatever reason, but I'm glad that I picked this up. I really like the paper that these are on. It's not like your standard, just paper that manga is on. For whatever reason, these are more of a comic book kind of paper, and you can see it's kind of glossy. So I thought that was an interesting decision on the mangaka. I don't know if it was the mangaka that did this, or if it was just the publisher that translated these into English that made them have that kind of paper, or what. But I think it's an interesting change from the way that they're usually set up. And this is a good series if you've never checked this out. This dude is also, I think it's done now. He's the creator of Fire Force as well, which is the story that came after Soul Eater. And pretty much in this story, there are hunters, soul reapers, that go after human beings or whatever that are possessed by evil spirits, and their boss is literally death. Their boss is death, and they, this girl right here has a scythe that is essentially can turn human and turn back into a scythe and whatever. And I think it's one of the first stories that did that. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. But I saw the anime an eternity ago, and I watched all of the anime, and this is one of those series that I watched when I was in like my teens, and it kind of stuck with me. So I wanted to, pick up the manga. Insomniacs After School. I don't really know anything about this other than that it's these two kids right here that hang out and they have like their own room that was like some kind of club room, and it's just for them now. It's just become a space for them to hang out. And like I feel like we've seen this premise before, not in this manner, but like just a club room where like a bunch of people just go to hang out, and then the school gets on them about just hanging out in there, and then they have to find a reason to justify the existence of their club room. I remember seeing it in like Mob Psycho 100 as well, where like there was like the paranormal room, and then it got turned into like the weightlifting room. So that feels like one of these. And the reason I picked this up is that I like the title, Insomniacs After School, and I'm a person that does suffer from insomnia. Like I've been up since like 4 a.m. this morning, and I went to bed at like 11, so I haven't slept. I have not slept much. Based on that, and I like the artwork, and I've heard it's actually a decent story, so I'm definitely looking forward to starting it. Boys Abyss. I don't know anything about this, and I want to keep it that way. All I really know, to be honest with you, is that there's this dude who goes to this town, or it was his hometown or something, and he sees an idol, and after meeting the idol, weird things happen. I think it's on like some summertime rendering, Higurashi When They Cry type of deal. And I did see some of the artwork, and I like the way that she looks. I like the way that character looks. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in checking this out, and I will definitely be making a video about this one and about Insomniacs After School at some point in the near future. This is Please Go Home, Miss Akutsu. Please Go Home, Mrs. Akutsu. I'm like halfway through this. It's cute. She's kind of annoying, to be honest. She kind of like bugs me a little bit, and then she's definitely kind of like, she's a little bit of like a Nagatoro, where she can be like super annoying, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not annoying to the point where like I don't want to read it anymore, but like she does get annoying, and she annoys this dude, and he's always got this whole thing where he like wants her to leave because she goes to his apartment and she won't leave his apartment like ever. And the whole thing for the most part pretty much takes place like at his apartment, but there are like things that remind me of I forgot I can't remember the name of that one, but the Nagatoro one. There are parts of it that really remind me of it, like her friends, this chick's friends, get involved, and they kind of remind me of like Nagatoro's friends. And there are definitely parallels that can be drawn between the two that, that's kind of similar. So, I mean, if you like that, I think that you will probably like this. This is a little more mature though. This is like 17 plus. Darling in the Franxx, volumes 5 and 6. Almost got the whole thing. I just need to get the last one, which is 7 and 8. I thought I had it for whatever reason. I thought it was on my shelf, but it is not on the shelf. And with that, I will be closing out the whole set. Probably be in the next video if I do another one for May, June. I'm not really going super crazy in May with picking up new manga, so there's a chance that I might not have a haul. But it depends, maybe June I'll end up going crazy. But for May so far, like I really not looking at too much stuff, to be honest. But I want to round this out. I started watching the anime forever ago, and I couldn't really complete the anime. So I figured, you know what, I'll read the manga. Maybe the manga's better. So that's where I'm at. So that's where we're at. Like, I'm just going to check out the manga and see how I feel about the manga. And yeah, I'm just going to collect the whole thing and see what's up. Alrighty. So now we've got Call the Name of the Night. I did a video about this. This is a really good story. I really like the artwork, and this isn't something that like I ever thought that I would, check out and enjoy based around the fact that it's kind of like a shoujo type of story. But the artwork for this manga is incredible, and I did a video about it, and I said a lot of things in the video, so if you want to check the video out, you can see way more about it. But it is super cute. The characters in it are a lot of fun. The dudes are like really flamboyant, so if you like cutesy shoujo stuff with like flamboyant dudes and like and just like girls that have magic abilities, only this has like a little bit more of like a dark twist with this girl being able to call forth the night whenever she feels stressed or yeah, put into a situation where she feels uncomfortable. She calls forth the night, and the night is all consuming. So it definitely adds a little bit of a twist to the whole magical girl thing. So this is a really cute story, and I definitely highly recommend this if you want something for the most part lighthearted and you don't want to read like super dark manga, like, which is for the most part where I like to dwell in like the more obscure and kind of like just darker stories, like a lot of seinen. But I'm also really open-minded, so I'll read almost anything. Chainsaw Man Volume 12. This is in Spanish. This is by a Spanish publisher called Norma Editorial. The reason that I picked this up in Spanish is that like I really wanted to own it, and I didn't want to wait until October. I didn't want to wait until October to own this, and I'm actually going to be doing a video really soon about Chainsaw Man Volume 12. Well, the chapters, that make up the chapters that make up what is Volume 12. I'm going to be doing a video about those chapters, and you could read them on the Viz app, or there's many other ways that you could come by reading those chapters. So this isn't like, I'm spoiling something that isn't available at all whatsoever in English, because it is, if you have the Viz app or whatever, you can pretty much read beyond this too. It's like, I don't even know up to what volume worth of chapters it's at, but yeah, I definitely want to do a video about it because I want to do more Chainsaw Man stuff on this channel. One of the first things I ever did on here was like a why you should read Chainsaw Man video, which is almost like 2 years old now at this point, because this channel is like officially like 2 years old now, which is wild. I've the channel itself has existed for a really long time, but I actually started posting videos to it like 2 years ago. And yeah, one of the first things I ever did a video on was Chainsaw Man, and I did a why you should read Chainsaw Man. So I just want to do more Chainsaw Man content. It's not going to become like a huge staple, but I do want to, go back around to it because it's one of my favorite series, and I read it an eternity ago. I read it like in 2020, I think. And I want to, just keep showing my love and appreciation. I mean, it's to the point where like I have a Chainsaw Man tattoo. I have Makima and Pochita on my arm. So yeah, on to the next one. Ayashimon by Yuji Kaku, and sadly this was an ill-fated series. There's never going to be any more of it. There's like 3 volumes. I think only Volume 1 is out so far. Volume 2 is coming out soon, and then Volume 3 will be the final volume. Sadly, Shonen Jump decided to discontinue the series, and that is a shame because I really loved this first volume, and I guess maybe there just wasn't enough of a fan base around it or something. I don't know what the situation was. But it does suck because there's another series that like I really enjoyed that also got canceled by Shonen Jump, which was a series called Doron that got canceled, which was a shame as well. But I really like this a lot because like this chick is like a demon yakuza, and he's a human. He's like her human, I guess, henchman or sidekick or whatever. And the two of them pretty much set out to take over the literal underworld, like the demon underworld of Japanese crime or whatever. And they go from like, the very bottom to essentially the top, just knocking out bigger and bigger fish. And I really would have liked to seen where this is going to go if it got the chance to, have 100 chapters or however, long it would have been if it hadn't been canceled, because I love the artwork and I love Yuji Kaku's work. I'm a huge fan of Hell's Paradise. I've not seen the anime, but I did read the manga. So yeah, it's a shame, and I hope that whatever Yuji Kaku does in the future, I hope it doesn't get canceled because he's too solid of a creator to, be shunned like that. So yeah, check out Ayashimon. Rise of the Outlaw Tamer and his S rank cat girl. This was okay. I mean, I liked it, don't get me wrong, like there's parts of it that I actually really enjoyed, but then when it started getting into like the more naughty, weird stuff, I wasn't like a huge fan of that. I mean, like I'm not, against, I'm not against like lewd, lewd stuff going on in manga. I mean, I did a video about lewd manga, so I'm not some weird prude type of dude, but I really didn't think that this was going to turn into that. Like, I didn't think this manga was going to turn into that, and then it turned into that. So that was definitely a surprise. And I mean, otherwise, the artwork is really good. I really like the artwork for the series. I think I already ordered volume 2, so I'm definitely going to keep reading it. And pretty much, like, the one thing I don't like is that it has that trope with, like, the dude who is, like, the most boring ass dude out, has, like, nothing special about him, gets, like, best girl essentially for, like, literally no reason. And his name is Lint. The man's name is Lint, and he gets best girl because reasons. And that's kind of one of those things that's, like, always bugged the hell out of me with these stories, is like you have, like, the most insignificant lead, the most boring ass dude, plain as hell, like nothing special about him, and suddenly everybody wants to sit on his lap and call him daddy. I know I'm being a hater, but it's always bugged the hell out of me. And every one of these stories is like, if you watch my lewd manga video, I had the same complaint. Like, they just have, like, the most boring ass dudes that it's just like, why is this guy even the lead? Like, this is not an isekai. This is just, this dude exists in this world, and this is translated from a light novel series into a manga. So there was already, like, a source material for it. But like I said, I really like the artwork. The artwork is solid, so I'll probably keep reading it based on that. But there are several times throughout where I just kind of rolled my eyes because it was just really cringe. But I mean, hey, you know what? Teach their own. Like I said, if you like lewd manga, this would have 100% been in my lewd manga video. If I put that video out, like, now, this would definitely be in it. So yeah, we're gonna continue with Shino Can't Say Her Name by the talented, one of my favorite mangaka ever, Shuzo Oshimi. And this is a complete story right here. I've never read it. I really don't even know what it's about. I think this girl, like, is a mute or something, or she suffers some kind of trauma that makes her mute. And I think it's like an older Shuzo Oshimi story that recently got translated into English. And I'm excited for everything that this dude has done to get translated into English. I pretty much own almost everything by him. I don't have, like, the last, like, 2 or 3 volumes of Blood on the Tracks, because I think that series is just going to go on forever. And I think it's ending soon or something, I'd heard. But I do have a lot of Blood on the Tracks. I think I have, like, 1 through 9 of that series. And then, like, I have almost everything else he's done physically that's in English. And this is another one that I just added. And I actually have more of his stuff that is going to be in this haul. So I'll show that to you right now. We've got Double Ecstasy Volume 2. And then we've got Avant-Garde Yumeko. This is about a girl that draws penises. And this is about, like, a boob monster or something like that. Or a fear of boobs or a fear of women. I'm not really sure, because Shuzo Oshimi has one of the weirdest... He's just flat out one of the weirdest mangaka I've ever consumed anything by, and I love it. I love everything he does. Everything I've read by him has just been... It's funny, you know, it's like, it's funny, but it's also really awkward, and he just has this way of making everything so tense. Like, he can make things really tense, or he can make things really awkward, or he like can strike a balance between, you know, those things and still somehow making it funny. And he draws just, like, sweating, like, characters sweating so well. Yeah, it's like I remember I watched this movie called Uncut Gems in theaters, and while I was watching it, the whole time I felt this intense pressure. I just felt like I have anxiety, and I felt my anxiety being exploded, like, 20-fold. And I felt like I was sweating, even though, like, we're in the theater and it's like an air conditioned room or whatever. And I just felt so hot and so, like, tense the whole time. And that's, like, the kind of emotion that Shuzo Oshimi can create. He can evoke that with his writing, is just make you feel so tense with the situations he creates. And one of the best examples of, like, him being able to create these tense situations is the manga Happiness, which I have all of. And yeah, that manga has some of the best artwork and some of the best just bits of scenery, because he doesn't use, like, a ton of dialogue in his writing. And yeah, it's just a phenomenal series, and I feel like everything he does, he almost just 100% hits it out of the park. And here's another creator that is a phenomenal mangaka that has just created some really tense situations as well. This is Inyo Asano's this is the last volume of his series, Dead Demons, Destruction. And yeah, I think this is volume 12, which is the closer of Dead Demons. And I really like the series a lot. This dude has this way like Shuzo Oshimi, but like a more depressing Shuzo Oshimi, I guess, and not as gross. This dude has this way of just making things really depressing, but at the same time, like the characters in this story are so relatable, so likable. Like all the girls are so likable and they feel so unique. And it's like one of the girls, it's like you knew her in high school. I think I mentioned this story in another video that I did called Hey, Have You Read? And I'm going to be doing a part 2 of Hey, Have You Read? At some point in the future. I already have the volumes that I'm going to be talking about for it. But yeah, this really just took me by surprise. I mean, it shouldn't have because of the fact that it is Inyo Asano, and I'm already a big fan of Inyo Asano. But still, I wasn't expecting to enjoy it in the way that I enjoyed it, and to feel a connection with these girls the way that I did. So, yeah, I'm excited to continue the series and finally finish it at some point. Kowloon, generic romance. This is volume 3 of this series. This is a really good series. I did a video about it. I don't even know how long ago at this point. Maybe like 6 months. I've done so many videos on this channel that like I don't even know when I did them. And it's funny because somebody will comment on something that I did like a year ago, and I'll be like, dude, I don't even remember recording that video. I have like over 100 videos on this channel. But pretty much this takes place in Kowloon, the walled city. But this is like a alternate world, alternate universe, Kowloon. And as the title suggests, there is a romance between this character right here and another character. And the artwork is really good. I think I said that I did a video about it. The artwork is solid. One of the best drawn manga that I feel like I've read. And if you like romance type of stuff set to like a dystopian backdrop or whatever, I think this is really good. And there's a lot of references to like nostalgia, and there's a lot of cigarette smoking going on, which kind of brings about like the noir thing. And I feel like that's a big thing about it too. It's like kind of like bringing in like a noir, like a futuristic noir, you know what I mean? Like things from the 60s that like the 60s vision of the future, with flying cars. Or that's what this story feels like. Like this is something that could have easily been written in like the 70s by somebody who grew up in like the 50s or 60s, you know what I mean? Like recreating their youth and how they imagined the future would look. So yeah, this is a really good series. Tatsuki Fujimoto is one of my favorite mangaka ever. I love this dude. I'm convinced that he's 100% a fucking psychopath. There is nothing that anybody can say to change my mind about that. Like if you've read literally anything this dude has ever done, from like Chainsaw Man to Fire Punch to like Goodbye Eri to like what was the other one? Look Back, or even like his 17 through 21. I remember reading 17 through 21 because I think I read it for a video, and I was just like, I think I read it for my last video, and I was just like, this is some of the most insane stuff I've ever read. And it's just like you're not even surprised if you've consumed this man's writing. You're not even surprised by anything he does anymore. Pretty sure this dude is not all there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I love what that brings about in his writing, his ability to just create some of the most bizarre situations, and it works. Everything he does works. Because I read Chainsaw Man, and like I'm caught up with Chainsaw Man. I'm not going to start spoiling it. I'm not going to spoil it whatsoever. But where it's at and what's going on is just some of the weirdest stuff. And it feels like such a natural progression. Where like some of the elements of it are so profound and so deep. And then at the center of it, you've got Denji, who's like just wants to have sex and touch boobs. I don't know how to describe it, dude. It's hilarious. I love Chainsaw Man, and I want to do more videos about it so I can try to like talk about it in a more eloquent way, where like I can actually sit down and write my thoughts down and not sit here and blather like an idiot, just trying to come up with words off the top of my head. And this is his collection, 22 through 26, and I'm really excited to jump into this because I loved 17 through 21. And then there's another one. I don't know if he did that one as well, the buddy stories or whatever. I don't know if that was something that he did or if other people wrote like little segments or whatever about Tatsuki Fujimoto characters. But yeah, I'm really interested in getting to this because this is him a little bit older. So I feel like what's going on here is going to be a lot closer to what he did with like Fire Punch and what he did with Chainsaw Man. So this is him. I think he started Chainsaw Man when he was like 25 or 26. I could be completely wrong. So if you know, please tell me. Yeah, let's see where it goes. I'm going in completely blind. I don't know what stories are in this thing. I don't know how weird they're going to get, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get really bizarre really quick. Dan to Dan by Yukinobu Tatsu. I absolutely, with all 100% of my heart, of my beating heart, I love his mind. I love his mind. I love Yukinobu Tatsu's Dan to Dan. This is easily one of the best manga that is currently out. And this dude, I'm pretty sure, was an assistant of Tatsuki Fujimoto. And it shows. It 100% shows. This is like non-stop breakneck shit hitting the fan at all times. And it is one of the best series that I've consumed. I'm like almost caught up to where the manga is. I think I'd said that I was going to start catching up. I was going to start reading it because I did a video about it forever. Yeah, I wouldn't say forever ago, but I don't know how long ago it was. It was maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. I did a video, or actually maybe even more than that. Who knows? I did a video about Dan to Dan, about the first volume of Dan to Dan. And since I did that video, I've just gone nonstop with reading it on the Viz app, and it has been just one hell of an experience. Really chaotic. I love all the characters involved, and there's a lot more characters that get introduced as it goes, and I'm not going to spoil for anybody that's only reading these physical volumes. I don't want to start spoiling stuff, but I'm going to be doing a What You Should Read like really soon. I already recorded my intro and outro. I just got to record panels, and then I will be dropping that video probably in like 3 or 4 weeks, to be honest with you, just because like I have so much going on, and I'm like pressed for time, and I'm really tired. I'm really tired. Like, I mean, today alone, I've been up since like 4 this morning, so I'm really not running on a lot of sleep. And I needed to knock this out because I didn't want to put it off anymore. But, yeah, I mean, if you like aliens, if you like the paranormal, if you like those two things mixed in what is essentially like just like a breakneck story that really doesn't slow down ever. I mean, there are times where it does kind of slow down, but it only slows down enough to get the next arc going, and then once it gets the next arc going, it just goes right back into laser speed. All I'll say is that like there's like a bunch of different kinds of aliens. That's all I'm gonna say about the part where I'm at. And it's just its ability to just introduce new characters and somehow fit those characters into somehow fit those characters into the mold that the story already created. I think Yukinobu Tatsu is a genius and a phenomenal mangaka, and I don't know how in the hell he's managed to just keep this thing going week after week and just pump these panels out. And he does these spreads, that are insane, and you'll see them in these physical volumes. And I think, being able to hold it and look at it in a physical volume is so much cooler than, reading it on the Viz app. And I have no regrets about reading it on the Viz app because I'm able to get it a lot sooner because I just have to consume the story. But I'm going to keep collecting these physicals just to be able to hold them in my hand because I do really want to support the student. I hope that his series doesn't get canceled. At this point, I don't think it's going to because it's already like over 100 chapters. Please read Yukinobu Tatsu's Dan to Dan. Tokyo Revengers, 5 through 6. This is a really solid series that the anime kind of dropped the ball towards the end. But going back and reading the manga is really good. I like the way that it's drawn. And this creator right here, Gen Wakui, has another series that's so far only available in, I guess, like Japanese and Spanish. I don't know if it's available in any other language. I don't know if it's available in any other languages. I know for a fact it's not available in English yet. But I really do hope that it gets released in English. I can't remember the name of it, so I'm going to put a picture of it over here. And yeah, I mean, Tokyo Revengers, pretty much these young dudes, gather up. They join this gang to essentially take care of their territory and protect themselves. And this kid gets involved because this girl that he dated when he was a high schooler gets killed. Her and her brother get killed. He goes into the past through like some butterfly effect type of thing, like a ReZero type of situation, and is able to save at least a little brother. And the little brother becomes like a detective, and then he and little brother in the future try to figure out what happened in the past, and they try to correct the past. And each time the dude goes into the past to try to correct it, each time the dude goes into the past to try to, like, fix what happened, something worse happens, and it's just like there's just no end. It's legit ReZero, where it's like nothing this dude does just goes right, and it's a really good series. I'm just gonna keep collecting it. So as of right now, yeah, I have like volumes 1 through 6 through these 2-in-1s, and these are definitely really cool. I have no regrets about picking these up. I like that they did these instead of doing like single volumes, which would end up making it take an eternity to release. Your HUD, Pearl Harbor Descent Record, Volume 2. I definitely enjoyed the first volume of this. I'm a huge fan of the game, so I wanted to pick it up based on that. I did a video about the first part of this. If you want to check it out, it's on the channel. Pretty much, I'm a huge fan of Nier Automata. I loved that game. I have a 2B tattoo on my leg because I'm a huge nerd, and I have no regrets about it. This is I think a decent companion to the series. So yeah, if you want to check out more lore that is tied directly to the game, because you meet these characters, or you don't meet the characters, but you meet one of the characters that was a part of this side story in the game, and this kind of like fleshes that out a little bit more. Orochi, this is like this is the third to last volume of the series. I think altogether it is 4 volumes. I'm thinking about picking up more Umez manga. I may eventually get his like, what was it? It's the Drifting Classroom, right? The main series that he was best known for. But as of right now, I have these Orochi volumes, and I'm gonna get the last one at some point, so that I have at least this complete set, and then I'll eventually get, the volumes 1 through 3 for Drifting Classroom to complete that series. And yeah, this dude's pretty much like a horror icon. Inspired Junji Ito himself, who was one of my favorite horror mangaka, and he is not the only horror mangaka I like. I like a lot of other horror mangaka as well. I had a comment, somebody asking me to recommend something that wasn't Junji Ito, as if I've never talked about anything on this channel that wasn't only Junji Ito. I've talked about a lot of other stuff, so sooner or later I'm going to be doing a video about Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. I've been reading that manga, and I am going to be doing a Let's Review at some point for Volume 1, and I'm really excited about it. But other than that, yeah, Orochi by Kazuo Umez, who is an absolute legend in the horror genre. The Boxer, Volume 2. This is a solid series. I'm in the middle of Volume 1 right now. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this or not, but it turned into one of the better manhwa that I've read, and I actually talked about this in a video called I've Been Reading Manhwa, which is a part of my I've Been Reading series, and I have like maybe 2 more videos in the I've Been Reading type of format that I'm going to do, and then that'll probably be it. I've been reading sci-fi, and then like I've been reading fantasy, and then that'll probably be it for that. So yeah, but yeah, this is a good manhwa, which is a Korean type of story. If you're not sure what manhwa is, and usually the way these are read is that like it's kind of like a thing where you just pretty much scroll up, and it just kind of like flows, which is the way that I guess Solo Leveling was intended to be read, and like Tower of God and the Hellbound as well, where you just kind of like keep scrolling up. And I'm pretty sure this is probably in the same vein, where it's just kind of a thing where you just keep scrolling. And yeah, I mean, I really do recommend this series quite a bit. I wasn't sure how good it was going to be, and like I'd read it coming off of the heels of having read The World After the Fall, which I thought was okay, and this ended up just being really good, and it blew me away. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend it. The Breaker. This is the last volume of The Breaker. This series, I did not expect this to be as amazing as it is, and I've likened this. This is in my I've been reading manga video as well. I've likened this to, what have I likened this to? I've likened this to like Boichi's Sunken Rock meets like Vash the Stampede in certain parts, and like Ikitausen. It's one of the better, just in general, stories that I've consumed. It's really stylish. It's really stylish, and it can be really comedic as well. And I love the way that everything is drawn. I love the way the characters look. There's a lot of style to it. I have really no complaints whatsoever about the series. And now that I have every single volume in it, I have all 5 volumes. I'm going to consume all of it. And maybe I'll do like a Why You Should Read or like a Let's Review or something about the whole thing. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking this out. Like, I 100%, not just as a manhwa, but just like as a story. And you can get the whole box set that has like volumes 1 through 5 in it. And I collected them individually myself, but you can get a box set that has all 5 volumes in it. And yeah, please read this if you are an adult and you like gritty type of storytelling. We got The Witches of Adamas. I don't know why I'm still collecting this. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know why I'm still collecting this. The first volume of this series is really dumb, but it's like fun dumb. The lead in this is a dude who ejaculates diamonds, and each time he does so, it like shortens his lifespan. So he has to be careful, and now suddenly all these girls want to have sex with him, and if he has sex with them, it will legit, take, I don't even know how much time, I think like a couple of years or something off of his lifespan. So he is trying to not, lose his virginity. And it's funny, like it reminded me of like Destiny Lovers, which is a really good series as well, where these dudes like try their hardest to protect their virginity, because if they don't, something will happen to them that I won't spoil for anybody that hasn't consumed Destiny Lovers that maybe does want to. And I did a video about Destiny Lovers a lifetime ago. I think about over a year ago at this point. But yeah, this is definitely kind of like in the same vein as that, and it's a lot of fun. This would definitely for me fall into like the guilty pleasure category, so that's like kind of like the only reason that I'm even still picking it up. And I have another one that is a huge guilty pleasure that I'm going to be getting around to here in a moment. So this is a series that like I've seen volumes of this. At one point in time, volumes of this were going for like $60. I think this volume 4 like was selling for like $60, and pretty recently like the whole thing just got repressed. And this is Tomochan is a Girl. The anime just came out, and I think the anime is completely over now. And yeah, this series is only like 8 volumes, so the whole series is out. And this is a really good, like, cute story. And I'm a fan, like I said, I'm a fan of like cute stories. And I think I talked about this in my I've been reading rom-com manga video. Like, I'm pretty sure I talked about it, or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But yeah, I really like this a lot. It's a cute story where there's this girl who is essentially like a tomboy, and she's in love with this dude. Her name is Tomochan, and she's in love with this dude who is, I think I forgot what his name was, Ray or something. And she's in love with him, and he only really sees her as one of the guys. And there's this film from the 80s actually called One of the Guys, but that's completely unrelated. It's a cute story. It's only 8 volumes if you ever want to collect it. I know not everybody that watches these videos likes the same stuff. Some of you like more rom-com stuff. Some of you like more seinen stuff. And I kind of like that about this community, is that we all like different stuff. But I'm one of those people that like I'm just able to just collect whatever the hell. This being the Eclectic Collector channel, I'm a dude who's super eclectic, and I like a lot of different kinds of manga and manhwa and just stories and whatever. So yeah, with these volumes right here, I collect all of Tomochan is a Girl, and I'm a completionist, so I have to collect everything in a series, and like I have no regrets whatsoever about picking these up. Mieruko-chan Volume 7. This is legitimately one of the best manga series that I have consumed in my life, and and I hate that it's not more popular. This really 100% deserves to be so much more popular than it is. And I'm actually going to be doing a video about it, like, called, like, why aren't you reading Miyako-chan or something like that? Because, I mean, the fact that it's, like, 7 volumes deep, and, like, I never, ever hear anybody talk about Miyako-chan. It just bugs the living hell out of me, dude. And, like, I want people to talk about it. And there was an anime. Please, for the love of God, do not watch the anime. I'm begging you, do not watch the anime. The anime was terrible. But I am going to be doing a video about the series. Pretty much, this girl right here sees, like, ghosts and whatnot. It's like the Japanese Sixth Sense, but she just ignores them. Like, there'll be a ghost, like, right next to her, and she's like, oh, look how beautiful the day is, or whatever, and it'll, like, be trying to talk to her. And it's so well drawn. It's a really solid story. And if you saw the anime and you got turned off because you saw the anime and you were like, this is terrible, please, please, please read the manga. The artwork is so good. It's so beautifully articulated. It's so well drawn. The story is actually really good, and it gets so much better too. And there's so many interesting characters, and it's not just fan service. I mean, yeah, sure, there's like a little bit of fan service here or there, but the anime turned that up to like 1,000. It's not that fan servicey. It really isn't. The story is so good, and there's so much more going on than the fan service that the anime, unfortunately made the hot topic for it, because I guess they thought that would make it more popular, and as a result, I think that lost a lot of what made it so special. So I'm going to be doing a video about it pretty soon. I'm not really sure exactly when, because I have so much on my plate right now that it might be a couple months out, to be honest with you. But it is happening. It is 100% happening. So yeah, please read Miyako-chan. Die Dark. I love Kyu Hayashida. I'm a huge fan of Kyu Hayashida. I've got a bunch of stuff over there, as you can see. I've got Dorohedoro, and right next to that I've got volumes 1 through 3 of Die Dark. And I'm in the middle of volume 1 right now. I kind of just started it and then haven't really read much of it since, because I'm in the middle of like 20 volumes of manga. I'm at like any point in time in the middle of like 15 to 20 different volumes of manga. So like, if you watch these videos and you're like, does this dude even read any of this stuff? I do. And I'm constantly reading a lot of different stuff, because of the fact that I'm trying to make this channel work. And I don't want to just, hoard all this stuff and not do anything with it. I don't want to just do haul videos, and like, I want to talk about the stuff that I collect. So I always try to do different kinds of videos, like I do the I've been reading ones, I do the currently reading ones, and I do the why you should reads, I do the let's talk abouts and everything. So I make use of everything that I buy, and like I try to use it on the channel, and I try to go into more in-depth conversations about it. Yeah, I did let's talk about Die Dark first, which has like 900 views, I think. And then I also did why you should read Die Dark, which has like 3,000 views, which is wild as hell. And then I did a let's review volume 4, I think, for Die Dark. And then I'm going to be doing a let's review volume 5 whenever I get around to it, hopefully soon. But I should have already finished it by now and had that video out, but life is crazy, and sometimes you just get so busy with everything. And like, we're like a pretty small channel, but I'm really grateful for all of you that have hung out, and you know who you are. You comment. All of you that comment. There's some of you that comment pretty regularly, like Nerdcore, who is a really good dude. He's a great channel. He comments pretty regularly, and I love that dude. And there's a bunch of other people that I'm not going to start doxing everybody, because I don't want to do that to them, but you know who you are. All right, we got Noragami volumes 3 and 4. These are big boy omnibus volumes, and I will collect all of this, because this is one of the series that I watched when I was in like my early 20s, and I loved like every second of it. I watched the first season of the anime like 3 times, I think, and yeah, it's such a good story that like I can't wait to delve into the manga. Alright, so this is a manga series that I have essentially called a guilty pleasure, and it is 100% a guilty pleasure, and I have no regrets about picking it up. This is Sekirei, and I have volumes 1, 2, right here, 3, 4, volume 7 there, yeah, volume 8, 9, and then 10. I watched the anime for this series in like 2010 2010 or 2011. That's how long ago this was. You can't even buy the Blu-ray anymore without paying like 80. No, you can't even buy the Blu-ray anymore without paying like $200 or something for it, which is wild. I had no idea. And even right now, you can't even get volumes 5 or 6 anywhere. I think I saw volume 6 for like $200. But I'm holding out hope that at some point in time there will be a reprint. At some point in time there will be a reprint, and we'll be able to get volumes 5 and 6, and then that way I can complete Sekirei. Like I said, I consumed the anime. I watched the first season, and I watched like Pure Engagement, which was the second season. And I started reading the manga as well a really long time ago. I started reading the manga, and then I stopped reading it at some point. So now that I have pretty much all of it, except for volumes 5 and 6, I started reading it. I actually started reading volume 1. I have my bookmark right there. It seems to be the case with a lot of stuff where like I'll read like the first 5 or 6 pages, and then I'll abandon it because like I have a project that I'm working on, and that ends up becoming my focal point. But I do plan on reading everything for Sekirei. If you want to see a video about it, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to read it, and it's just going to be my guilty pleasure reading manga that I will read for myself. And I'm eating my hair again. That I'll just read for myself because I enjoy it. Alright, we are down to the last 2 series. And right here we got Vagabond. I finally picked the series up. This is volume 1. This is volume 2. This is all in a set that I picked up. So volumes 1 through 6 were in that set. Here's volume 3. And volume 4. We got volume 5. And then finally we got volume 6. And I love the spines for these, and I'll show you the spines here in a second. But this was out of print for a while, and it ended up back in print, and it looked like it was going to sell out again, and I got kind of worried. So like I impulse bought the whole first part of it. I got to get volumes 7 through 12, I think, but I'll probably do that like in June or something. I'm probably not going to pick them up in May. I'm trying to like make May a dry month, so that like I kind of force myself to read all the stuff that I have right now before I go any crazier. As you see, I've already bought a ton of stuff for like March and April, so I don't want to go any crazier and like, you know, buy like a whole bunch of more stuff. But I really do want to start this, and like I kind of was thinking about doing like a versus video for this series, where like I was going to do Vagabond versus Blade of the Immortal. So if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing on this channel, let me know, because it's definitely an idea that I had that I might end up doing. So yeah, I really like the artwork for this. It looks like such a beautifully detailed and drawn series that I cannot wait to start reading it. We got volume 13 of Berserk. I'm in the middle of volume 3 right now. I'm going to be doing my why you should read for volume 3. I was going to do volumes 3 and 4, but I wrote so much for volume 3. Like I wrote an ungodly amount for volume 3 because there was just so much to cover that I'm just going to do them separately. I'm going to do volume 3 by itself, and then I will do the Eclipse in volume 4. And I thought supposedly this was going to be the final volume of Berserk. And because I thought that it was going to be the final volume, I picked these up just to, you know, have the complete story. So this is 40, and then this is 41. And as I've said many a time, anytime and every time that I have Berserk in a video, that is going to be the last thing that I talk about in that haul video. And it's the case again. This is the last thing that I'm talking about in this video, because I will always, you know, love and respect what Kentaro Miura did for manga and how inspirational this series has been. And I think as of the making of this video, I think the first chapter or something dropped for the new story that is being done by Koji Mori and I think Studio Gaga. So yeah, I think that first chapter is dropped, but I'm nowhere near that. You know, like I'm essentially like in the middle of volume 3 right now. I still haven't even finished volume 3. So yeah, by the time that I get around to that, the story will probably already be done. They'll probably have put out whatever the last part of it was that they created from Kentaro Miura's notes. And yeah, that's it. You know, there's going to be these last 2 volumes are actually going to be in another omnibus, which is going to be number 14, which will be the final omnibus that was created by Kentaro Miura. I don't know if they're going to keep doing more omnibuses with the new stuff by Koji Mori and Studio Gaga or not. But yeah, the final omnibus, volume 14, is going to feature 40 and 41, and it's going to have like a guide and artwork or whatever from the world of Berserk, the world that Kentaro Miura graced us with. So with these, I say thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that this video got super duper long, and I know it's going to turn some people off, and people are probably only going to watch like 5 minutes of it or 3 minutes of it or whatever, and that's fine. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to sit through this whole thing. But for anybody that does actually sit here, if you watch this whole damn video and watch me talk for an hour, you are a true champion. Wow, I can't believe that you actually sat here for an hour. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It really does mean the world to me that anybody at all would care to hear me talk about anything, because I have no idea why anybody would want to listen to me talk about anything. I'm like one of the most boring people on earth. So with that, I want to close this video because I've sat here for way too long. I did not think I was going to sit here for an hour. I thought this video was going to be like 40 minutes. Just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until next time we meet, please take care of yourselves. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that everyone you love is doing well and that you are in a good place, as always. And yeah, we'll see each other in a week, maybe a couple of weeks, depending on whenever I drop the next video. So please, yeah, take care of yourselves.
By the hands of God, I stand as a wrench between your wheeling cog, fastening my belt, bracing myself to withstand against all odds. Himself shadow runners, battle ready, murder dogs, rip the skin off your horses, triumph and smash the sorceress, lethal forces. The failure of your ambitions is more painful than divorces. Smash your dome piece on the doorway, when the door hits, that's it. Call it quits, zipped up in plastic, cremated, melted like elastic. Dreams don't mean shit, in this life they don't exist.